What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to be doing the long-awaited Bowzon build for you guys. Now this is a player versus monster guide, not PvP, and I'm just going to go over all the basics with you guys, like the equipment, the skills, and then show you guys some gameplay along the way and just show you my tips and tricks and all that stuff. Make sure you guys check out my Patreon page if you would like to get exclusive access to download this single player character. So the first thing about this build, we'll go over the skills real quick. So the first thing with the skills, I'm using guided arrow and I'm using strafe. I usually switch between those two depending on which one I feel like using, but to start the skills off, I put 20 in the guided arrow, 20 in the strafe, nothing into javelin skills. And as far as the passive skills go, I put 20 points into penetrate just because I really like having a lot of attack rating. I really hate when I miss on my characters. So some people like to go full pierce, I guess. But just for my personal preference, I went 20 penetrate just to get that ridiculous attack rating. And I put 20 points in the critical strike because I also like to do a lot of damage. So 20 points critical strike, 20 points penetrate, and then put the rest of my points into pierce, and then just one into everything over here. So then as far as my gear goes, and usually when I do gear, I usually try and show like more of a legitimate side to it. I know some of my builds get a little crazy, but usually as far as like getting things like max damage charms with attack rating and life and having like 40 of those, to me it's just not realistic. So I usually don't like to roll with that. This is one of those builds where instead of having class skill grand charms, it's better off having a bunch of max damage charms. So I usually don't, when I present my builds, I usually don't show the max damage charms just because I feel like it's kind of stretching the build too far to the point where it's like, okay, this is something that's not obtainable to you guys, and it's not obtainable on battle.net unless you bot or use JSP or something like that. So for my build, I just threw on some bow skillers. They don't really do much, but hey, I mean, they'll do a little bit. So to start it off, I'm using bow skillers. I got the torch, the Annie. I got the Enigma here just so I can get the chaos and show you guys some chaos stuff going on there. And as far as the bow goes, the main part is the bow, is the Windforce bow. Now, I tested almost every single bow that I could think of with this build specifically. Breath of the Dying, Brand, Ice, all that stuff. Even Breath of the Dying, if you check it out, I'm doing more damage using the Windforce than I am with the Breath of the Dying. So short on stash space here. So definitely going Windforce is the best. I put a Shale in there to get some increased attack speed. I got an Andariel's helmet right here, and it looks like I put in, I don't know what kind of jewel I put in there. I think I put in a 40-15 maybe. It's not really going to make or break the build what you put in there, but Andariel's is definitely my favorite choice. Then I'm using Atma's amulet, and the main reason why I'm using this amulet is because you get that little chance to cast amplified damage, which is really going to boost your damage there. So I really enjoy having that little modification there on that amulet. And then as far as my armor goes, I'm using Fortitude, for some more damage. Ravenfrost ring, 2 Ravenfrost rings. And then I'm using the Razor Tail, and that is for the piercing attack mod that's on that belt. Gore Riders to get some crushing blow, some other good stats. And then Laying of Hands is also really good. One of my favorite gloves in the game. I mean, it's just ridiculously overpowered. I mean, 50 resistances, that's a lot of resist. But the 350% damage to demons is just, it's just unreal to me, man. So and then as far as my mercenary goes, this is a really big one though to make this build kind of work, is having a faith. So you definitely want to make sure you have a faith on your mercenary, and then the armor and the helmet aren't going to make or break the build. But I'm using Fortitude and Andariel's. And then obviously on Switch I have Call to Arms and Lidless Wall. Alright, so let's show you guys some gameplay real quick. We'll set the players to 8. Because I know this build is just gonna wreck stuff. So to start the build off, obviously I battle orders, battle command myself, summon the Valkyrie, and then I have guided arrow on my left and strafe on my right. Now guided arrow is kind of more of like a single target thing, and strafe kind of, you know, shoots everywhere more often. I mean, I'm not like a Bowzon expert or anything, but this is kind of like the most basic Bowzon build I've ever played. So, but that's kind of just how I roll. You know, I just shoot those around, and that's about it. So, and probably one of the downsides to this build is, you know, not being able to run very fast or have Enigma. But me as a more of an old school player, sort of, I don't really like to teleport around. You know, sometimes if I'm wanting to get to a boss or something, but, you know, I really enjoy playing the game where you're just running around casually and just killing monsters. I really feel like that's the way the game is supposed to be played, and that's just the way I kind of enjoy playing the game. Alright, so here we go. Let's do this. And as you can see, I mean, just straight wrecked. I'm gonna need some more arrows here. That's another thing, you really want to keep up on your arrows. But it's definitely a fun build to play, and you're definitely going to be wrecking stuff. And there we go. And you'd really be surprised nowadays. I mean, a Windforce really isn't worth that much. I mean, all this stuff is kind of just like fancy stuff a little bit, like Fortitude. If you guys really wanted to, like, you guys know I'm going to be playing hardcore this season. So when we're playing hardcore, you know, you don't have to completely rely on having a faith. You know, if you guys get your group set up right and all that stuff, and maybe you have like a Zealer in the group that has Fanatism, you know, you could just use that Paladin's Fanatism, which will be even better, and then, you know, just roll with that, and you won't have to spend, you know, an Ohm, a Ja, to just so you can get your Fanatism aura. So it's really good to kind of, you know, I think that's something that's really kind of faded away in Diablo 2, is kind of, you know, getting your friends together and building a good group, you know, not just doing whatever because, you know, that's what you want to do. You know, there's a lot of things that you guys can benefit from each other without having to go ahead and get a faith rune word, which is going to take some time and some, you know, some serious effort. All right, well, let's do some throne or world stone keep, and we'll kill some monsters here and see how well we do. Very nice. See, and I mean, having like decked out charms and all that stuff, I mean, it's really not necessary in my opinion in player versus monster. I think it's just, you know, kind of stretching it a little bit. And, you know, as you guys can see, I mean, on players 8, you know, you're already doing pretty good. I hate souls. I hate souls. But usually, most of the time, I'm just using strafe for AoE damage. And when I'm like, you know, tired of looking at it or something, I'll just go ahead and use guided arrow. Guided arrow is going to do a little bit more damage, though. Nice. We'll just kill a few more things. See what we can do. Maybe get a big group here. I really like the AoE damage though on Strafe. It's pretty nice. Also, if you have Drax or something on, something that gives life tap, you can get life tap from a distance, and it'll boost your health back up. It's pretty nice having that, especially if you're trying to do Uber Tristram on the Bowzon, but that's definitely for another video or another different type of build, you know. Ooh, we got a ghost spear here. Oh, nice, dude, and it's F. Very nice, dude. Alright, well that's about it for this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you want to keep up with Diablo 2 content. Hit that little bell button down there on the right if you guys want to get notifications when I upload Diablo 2 videos, like my phone just went off just now. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video.